Wam kagagali hava bahasha mi hausha bahasha marchak dash de belangrijk de elders and apostles of Great Millstone shall one for the hopefully elect. This is Brother Arakia, and wanna speak on the peace treaty plan that Babylon the Great, which is America, has devised for the war in Ukraine, which they want to, present this plan as a program for peace, and Europe feels very disrespected by it. Okay, and this is going into the fact that, as we're gonna read, thieves shall hate the whore. What is that whore? Is America, okay, Babylon the Great, and the 10 horns, and that's going into European Union, okay? So I'm gonna go straight to the point. Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, okay, which are the European Union countries, these shall hate the whore, and the whore is talking about Babylon, okay, America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, and also in Jeremiah it says that thy mother shall be sore displeased with thee. Something along those lines. Let me look for that scripture actually. I know that the words mother and sore aren't there. So it should come up. What am I spelling? Yeah, so okay, confounded. Jeremiah 50 and 12, your mother shall be sore confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Okay, the mother of America is UK. Behold, the hindermost of the nations, which is America, shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So you're also going to have, England shooting missiles. You're going to have France shooting missiles at America. Okay. So now there's the alliance, okay, with America and Europe. But that alliance is going to collapse, and it's going to be very hostile, because you see already how the whore is dealing, in a feminist way, because hey, that whore is just talking to Russia, okay, over the heads of the European leaders. So even here in Finland, so like this morning they had this talk show, and they was discussing how, NATO, what is the point of NATO if America can single-handedly decide if there is new members to NATO or not, and stuff like that. So they were not consulted, about this peace treaty, which I have an article here of Sky News, Trump's 28-point Ukraine peace plan. And then you had the European countries make a counter peace plan, which Russia is definitely not going to accept. Revelation 17:17, for the Most High Yahweh has put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigned over the kings of the earth, which is America, okay? They can put this fucking, man, what is the word? No way. No way that I forget this word. Sanctions. Yeah, they put these fucking financial sanctions. They say, hey, you can do this, you cannot do that, you can do this. The world police. And, you know, her lovers, Europe, gonna get very angry and gonna shoot missiles. They that have missiles gonna shoot them at America as well. So this is prophecy being played out before. This from Sky News. Trump's 28-point Ukraine peace plan in full. The document states that Ukraine must cede land it currently controls. The plan closely resembles the list of demands repeatedly outlined by Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump's plan for ending the war in Ukraine would hand swaths of land to Russia and limit the size of Kiev's military, a draft has revealed. Since the draft was made, the US has said it is making some changes after seemingly positive talks with Ukraine, while Britain, France and Germany have drafted a European counter-proposal peace plan, which also is 28 points, including suggested changes and deletions. The 28-point plan states Ukraine must cede the entirety of Crimea, Luhansk and Donetsk to Russia, despite Ukraine still controlling a third of the latter. Kherson and Zaporozhye would be frozen along the existing lines of conflict. Yet, I don't see how Ukraine could keep the current borders. That if you look at the world map today of Europe, you see Ukraine as it is. There's no way they can. Russia is a bear. The bear's claws has taken a grip. You cannot loosen that grip, man. It says Ukraine's army currently at roughly 880,000 troops will be reduced to 600,000. Young men. Their future, that the nation's future is the young men. The women are going to other countries. So let me just go through these 28-point plans, which are devastating Europe. Okay, Ukraine remains sovereign, non-aggression agreement, no invasions or NATO expansion. It is expected that Russia will not invade neighboring countries and NATO will not expand further. Now this is, just America talking over the heads of NATO countries. They just decide. Because that's why, the beast is NATO and the EU. And what is the leading country of NATO is America. See? So America is very much so part of the beast. Not to mention its role. Okay, US to mediate Russian-NATO talks. I will skip through some of these. Ukraine commit to not joining NATO. Ukraine will constitutionally commit to not joining NATO, and NATO will include the same in its statutes. But this was not discussed with the NATO countries. It's just Babylon, and not just that great whore just doing her thing. Number 15, US-Russia group to enforce plan. Compliance with the deal will be ensured by a joint US-Russia working group. So you're gonna have Babylon and the Russians to monitor that all of this is being held, It says also here Russia will be invited to rejoin G8, because now it's G7. Education. Russia and Ukraine will instate tolerance and anti-racism education in schools. Ukraine will adopt EU religious tolerance rules. Both guarantee rights to Ukrainian and Russian media and education, respectively. Nazi ideology is banned. Which, yeah, in Ukraine, man. Of course. I mean, it's in many countries. Even here in Finland, you have some fucking new Nazis, bro. It's all over the place. In Babylon, all over the place, not these Edomites. So number 21, territorial concessions. Entirety of Crimea, Luhansk and Donetsk recognized as de facto Russian. Front lines in Kherson and Zaporozhye frozen with the recognition of Russian gains. Russia will relinquish territory outside those regions. So you see, there's gonna be concessions. The Ukrainian elections. Ukraine will hold elections in 100 days, which that dude Zelensky is a fucking sodomite, bro. There's a video of him in a black suit doing some fucking sodomitish dance moves, bro. That dude is nothing but an actor and a puppet. 27, Trump to head Peace Council. The agreement is legally binding and implementation is monitored by the Peace Council headed by Trump. Sanctions for violations. So you see, when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction. For America, that is, they are saying peace and safety. So America, Babylon the Great is done, okay? European allies are mad, and America's lovers are gonna, turn to its haters. So Lord willing, this was edifying. Until the next one, shalom.